Painful cuts at women's health centers tonight, just days after lawmakers failed to override a gubernatorial veto to restore millions for family planning clinics. Doors are beginning to close. At least 3 health centers in South Jersey are shutting down. That's the result of millions of dollars in cuts for family services that some lawmakers feel has gotten too political. Jerry Henry reports.
Planned Parenthood of Southern New Jersey, which is headquartered in this Camden office, announced the immediate closure of one of its smaller offices in Cherry Hill. The nonprofit lost about $160,000 in funding, a part of the overall $7.5 million reduction in state aid for family services statewide.
$160,000, we're looking at that being the cut for the rest of the year. So we had to dealing with $160,000 that we needed to reduce from our budget. Going into 2011, those numbers will probably be higher. It's tremendously frustrating. It's perplexing that funding family planning saves the government money in the long term. So where do we send women who have been coming to us for services? Where do they go? If they're not coming here for services, where do they go?
The Cherry Hill office is the first casualty here in southern New Jersey, but officials say it won't likely be the last, as they're looking at cutting days and hours at different locations. In fact, the Planned Parenthood Center in Beverly and Burlington County has already cut a day and adjusted hours. And at least 2 more women's health centers in West Hampton and Pemberton will close in November. This after the state Senate fell 4 votes shy of overriding Governor Christie's veto of funding legislation. The governor has said the state doesn't have the money to fund the services. Some lawmakers feel the issue had gotten too political. The Cherry Hill Center is in Assemblywoman Pam Lampitt's district.
When you talk about $7.5 million in a over $26 billion budget, it's really pennies to the dollar. And when you talk about it, you're talking about, missing the federal match as well. This has drilled down to a political issue. I'm not so sure. How do you vote one day on your conscience and decide that it's important to provide access for women, and then months later decide, no, not so much? This is very political. I think Senator Loretta Weinberg spoke very clearly and very succinctly about the fact that Governor Chris Christie will survive this, but these women and these families may not.
The centers provide an array of services to women and men, but the one big political sticking point has been abortion. Jerry Henry, NJN News, Camden.